Good afternoon and welcome to State Newsfile. I'm Abby Zivrink. Sarah Jones will have the weather for us coming up, but first, let's check in with Ty Rothermel. Ty, what's going on in the world of sports?
Today we have news about Sidney Crosby not being able to be on the ice today and a delay in a Raptors game, as well as a look at today's Blue Jays game from earlier. And more stuff as well.
Morning, but that sun started to hide out later in the afternoon.
Yeah, the clouds did come by a little bit, but they did dissipate throughout the day. We did get up to a high of 7 degrees today, but that's not beating our record high of 18 degrees in 1905. I'm just happy that we aren't seeing any negative temperatures like we did in 1888 with a minus 33. We aren't getting any negative temperatures for the next little bit, but I'll keep you updated with that later in the show.
Wow, I'm happy it's not minus 33.
Right.
Thank you, Sarah. Now here's a look at today's top stories. The Alberta government has given the green light to phase 2 of the province's path forward in easing up restrictions. Facilities offering low-intensity fitness and libraries will be the first to get back in business. Haley Carter has the story.
7, 8, 9, 10. Good job.
It's been a long time since Albertans have been able to go to the local yoga studio, but they can soon get back to downward dog and other poses with friends. The province has announced we are transitioning into phase 2 of the reopening measures.
Targeted health measures will be eased for indoor fitness activities and for libraries. As a cautionary measure, possible changes to current restrictions for retail, hotels, banquets, community halls, and conference centers have been delayed.
Libraries have been waiting for when they would be able to open their doors to the community again, but there's going to be a lot more precautions put in place than there were before. At gyms and fitness centers, masks must be worn when you are with the trainer, and you will have to be at least a meter apart.
Low-intensity individual and group fitness activities will now be allowed indoors, like Pilates, Tai Chi, and indoor climbing. And I know that many Albertans are eager to get back to other activities like running on the treadmill. High-intensity activities like that are still only allowed on a one-on-one basis with a trainer or for a household and one trainer.
Chandra says even with these restrictions being lifted, it's important to not lose sight of the fact that further easing of measures opens up a chance of spreading COVID. The province says that's why it hasn't changed anything for retail businesses for the time being. The province has come for stopping the spread of the novel coronavirus, and if we can keep our masks and social distancing, we can hopefully ease up more of these restrictions in the months to come. For State Newsfile, I'm Haley Carter.
Our Alberta COVID numbers have yet to be updated, so we are taking a look at our last known count from yesterday. As far as we are aware, 291 new cases were identified. Our provincial total has been brought up to 4,674. 257 people are in hospital due to COVID-19. With that total being under 300, phase 3 of reopening could start in 3 weeks at the earliest. Positive COVID-19 cases have plummeted to the most vulnerable since the peak in December. Long-term care facilities have seen a 95% drop. Premier Jason Kenney says this is due to the sacrifices Albertans have been making, as well as an increase in COVID-19 vaccinations. Second doses of the vaccine are being administered to residents in long-term care facilities, and the regulations have widened for anyone 75 years or older to get their first dose of the vaccine. Kenney says the speed of the vaccine administration depends when Alberta will fully reopen. The National Advisory Committee on Immunizations has recommended against using the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine in people over the age of 65. In documents posted on Monday, it reported that this vaccine has limited information on the efficacy in that age group. Health Canada contradicted those statements, saying this newly approved vaccine is authorized to be used in adults of all ages. This third option is being added alongside the Pfizer and Moderna vaccine. The City of Calgary is announcing extended support for bars, restaurants, and cafes. This support will continue to waive development permits, licenses of occupation, and temporary permission fees for the upcoming season. This fee release for patios was first introduced last May and will continue into this year's patio season. Leader of Business and Local Economy Team, Sonia Sharp, says this will benefit our local businesses as well as Calgary citizens. With the start date being earlier than last year, the city says it should give owners plenty of time to prepare for this patio season. The provincial government's new budget announced last week contained another round of cuts to post-secondary education in Alberta. Many institutions are still trying to sort it all out, but the NDP says it has a better plan. St. Newsfell's Garrett Steffen joins us from outside Heritage Hall with more on this story. Hey, Garrett.
Hey, Abby, that's right. Today, the NDP leader held a conference at the University of Calgary to call for a reversal of this budget plan set out by Premier Jason Kenney and the UCP government.
I, like so many of my fellow students, am heartbroken to hear that the UCP is cutting the budget again.
The current budget will have $690 million in budget cuts to post-secondary education, and the NDP leader says that has to change.
Premier Jason Kenney cannot claim that he supports diversifying our economy and creating new jobs in new sectors, and then at the same time turn around and cut funding to the very schools that would give our future leaders the skills and training that they need to perform those jobs and to advance growth in those sectors.
Notley says on top of the proposed cuts, the UCP government is planning to add an additional $106 million in tuition fee increases, which will mean tuition costs in Alberta have risen $387 million since Kenney took office. Faculty of Arts student Noah Spivak voiced her frustration during her time at the podium and made it clear the UCP government is negatively impacting the future of Alberta with these cuts.
The operational costs of post-secondary institutions rising 6% from where they were in 2018 to 2019 worries me. The UCP seems to have an expectation that the university will find that money somehow, either on the backs of students or at the loss of services.
Spivak says she is heartbroken for her friends who are already struggling financially and now have to pay more in tuition. There's been no word yet from SAIT on how it's handling these cuts. More is expected later this week. Back to you, Abby.
Thanks, Garrett. Garrett Steffen reporting from outside Heritage Hall here at SAIT. We'll have more on this story on Newsfiles Thursday. If you've ever been a victim of fraud, you know how easily it can happen. The Calgary Police Service and the Better Business Bureau have teamed up to educate Calgarians on how to recognize and report fraud. Haley Shirky reports on year 17 of Fraud Prevention Month.
Last year alone, Calgarians reported losing more than $3.8 million to online scams. That's a huge increase from the $2.2 million lost in 2019. Many of us are using technology more during the pandemic. Online banking and dealing with expenses over the internet is more common than ever.
Of our top 10 scams, online scams represents a third of the total scams. And so we are definitely seeing the data suggests an increase in scams.
Each week in March, Calgary Police will highlight topics ranging from online scams to identity theft to business fraud and phone scams. Anyone can be a victim of fraud, regardless of age or gender.
It was during a time I lost a credit card. So they were telling me that someone had used this credit card and drained all the money. And then this person who was trying to fraud me or whatever, I had to go to the bank and take out all my cash and put it in a safe account.
Most fraudsters are experts at getting you to believe what they are saying. They often play with your emotions and rush you into making decisions.
I was on a phone call with this person for so long, which was probably a red flag. And they were telling me not to hang up either. And so I was in the bank ready to take this money out, but the bank teller had actually helped me.
There are common things to check for: misspelling in emails, suspicious links, or payment requests that are not secure. CPS is asking anyone who has been a victim of fraud to call their non-emergency number or contact Crime Stoppers. For State Newsfile, I'm Haley Shirky.
The Canadian economy posted an economic drop of the year due to the COVID-19 shutdown. Across the country, businesses have been forced to close and thousands of Canadians are still out of work. Statistics Canada says the economy has grown at an annual rate of 9.6% in the fourth quarter. Last year, this number was down from the growth rate of 40.6% in the third quarter. City pounds may be a thing of the past. The Alberta Animal Rescue Crew Society and the City of Calgary have unveiled a 3-month pilot project. As Sydney Chisholm reports, ARCs will now be responsible for placing pets in good homes.
Calgary's animal adoption service is under new management. ARCS has taken over from the city in a 3-month pilot program. Stray animals taken to animal services will still receive medical attention and be sprayed and neutered, but after the legal hold of 3 to 10 days, the animals will be taken to ARCS to be adopted or placed with a foster home.
Well, the great thing is if an animal happens to need extra time, we have a network of foster homes. So we have over 800 foster homes in the province, so the animal can live in a home environment versus a shelter environment.
The use of foster homes to hold and or rehabilitate an animal before adoption can greatly affect an animal's mental health, as well as its disposition towards other animals and people. Thompson says that animals get to learn how to trust again. Daryl Paul, who fosters dogs in his home, says that both his family and the dogs have grown through the ARCS process.
Our first dog, Sunshine, first came to us. She was a little bit aggressive, only that she was excited because she wasn't socialized well, so she was a bit aggressive. But after a while with us, she became even more and more relaxed.
A home environment can be beneficial for the families as well.
Sometimes people adopt dogs in shelters because they feel sorry for the dog, which is not really the best basis to adopt the dog. So when you see it in a more natural setting, you get a better idea of what the dog is like.
Though this pilot project is only a sure thing for the next 3 months, many animal lovers are hoping that it will become a new solution for city pounds across the province. For State Newsfile, I'm Sydney Chisholm.
Those are today's top stories. We'll have your full forecast after the break, but first, Sarah Jones has a look what's going on around Calgary this week.
Looking for a fun school activity? Try out Bingo at Home with SATSA. Check out their Facebook page at 3:45 on Wednesday to join in on the fun. Hang out by the pool at Hotel Arts this Thursday. This 18-plus event features a DJ and a variety of specialty drinks to choose from. Limited tickets are still available. Have you ever gone skating at Olympic Plaza? Well, you should. It's free, and you can go from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. A fun way to get out of the house without hurting the wallet. Bridgeland Arctic Adventures is a fun and free scavenger hunt taking place until March 31st. Some tasks include taking pictures in front of Calgary's famous landmarks, fitness challenges, and more. Check out their page for more details. Penguin Walk is still happening at 10 a.m. every day, weather depending, until March. It's a good family-friendly event for all to take part in. Heritage Park Ghost Tours are back. Are you ready for a guided walk through the historical streets, followed along with spooky stories from the past? I know I am. This event is happening every Thursday until May.
This is Rumble House. Every Wednesday, a pilgrimage is made from across Calgary, and 3 written materials are ordained as inspiration for that night. There are artists, spectators, many ways to contribute. And while the auction is the main draw, don't get hung up on that. Just come be a part of this unique slice of Calgary's art culture. Because what if people stop going, stop caring and creating? It'll disappear. Rumble House. Go. Wednesday.
Come and learn the fast-paced world of television production. Find your passion to write, shoot, edit, and direct news, sports, and dramatic productions. With industry-standard technology and the best instructors in the business, SAIT's television production program teaches you everything you need to know for a career in broadcasting. This is television production. Come and dare to be on air.
Well, Canada has a weird mix of weather right now, highs and lows across the country, with those highs coming from the west coast currently. We do have a warm front moving through, which is awesome to see, especially early on in March right now. Vancouver, some cloudy temperatures, not surprised there. Our prairie provinces, Edmonton, Regina, and Winnipeg, are getting a lot of sun right now and warmer temperatures, which is awesome to see, especially after our long cold snap. Taking a look at the east coast, we do get some of those negative temperatures that I was saying. Currently, Toronto and Montreal are seeing a bit of a cold front happening from the south, moving upwards from the States. And Halifax and St. John's are getting a cold pressure system moving in from the east there, from the ocean, making it snowy a little bit. Alberta is experiencing a lot of really nice weather right now, but let's take a look at resorts.
Palm Springs is looking spicy today with sun across the board and 24. Barbados is warming up with a hot high of 28. Cancun would be nice right about now with a current high of 29. Honolulu is nothing but sun. Orlando getting cloud coverage, but even with those clouds, they're still getting up to 25. Sin City ain't too hot, sitting at 20 degrees.
Calgary today, we're currently sitting around 5 degrees, mainly sunny conditions. We did talk about those cloudy conditions that did dissipate early on. The wind is coming from the southwest at 14 kilometers an hour, and like I said, we're getting lots of sun next. Checking out Alberta, sunny temperatures across the board basically. Fort McMurray is getting a little bit of snow right now, and Banff is getting some flurries. Still at 4 degrees though, which is pretty nice. Lethbridge and Medicine Hat are sitting at 11 degrees, which is awesome to see. Little bit jealous, but that doesn't hurt us too much because we will be getting those temperatures ourselves pretty quick here. We can take a look at the 5-day forecast. Tonight, a low of -5, tomorrow a high of 8. Mainly sunny conditions, getting down to -1 overnight. And there it is, Thursday and Friday, getting those warmer temperatures, 11 and 12. Awesome to see. Sunny conditions. Get outside if you can, because Sunday it will drop down to -2 again. We will now, if you want to get out this weekend, take a look at the ski report.
Well, Castle Mountain will forever be my own stomping grounds. They currently have packed powder across the mountain. They're getting up to a high of 2, and those cloudy conditions are expected to stick around all week. Nakiska looking nice today with groomed runs. They've got a base of 114, but they're expected to get snow overnight, which will add some extra powder for the coming days. Sunshine Village ain't looking too sunny. They've got cloudy conditions lingering with some colder temperatures. A high of -5 and a base of 202 might be the best place to shed the gnar. Lake Louise is in for a weekend full of snow, but those current conditions are just pretty cloudy. Those runs are groomed and the park is ready to go. Mountain Workway runs are freshly groomed. They're sitting at -2 today with some cloudy conditions. Maybe not the place to go this weekend, as they're expected to get a mix of rain and snow. Marmont Basin in Jasper, not too bad today, a high of -5, a little bit chillier than the rest of the mountain, so make sure you bundle up. The snow is coming overnight and into the weekend.
Welcome back. I was kind of sleeping last night, so I didn't get to watch the Flames game, but I think that might have been a good thing because I heard it didn't look too good for Calgary. Ty Rothermole joins us from the newsroom. Ty, it was a disappointing game for the Flames, hey?
Yeah, that's right. It's been consistently disappointing for the Flames this season so far. Last night, the Calgary Flames faced off against the Ottawa Senators to finish off their 6-game road trip. Amy Ramsey reports on some of the highlights, or should I say lowlights, from last night's game.
The Calgary Flames faced off against the Ottawa Senators last night and left many fans disappointed in their lackluster performance.
She carries down the wing. Bennett missed the puck.
The first goal was scored by Senators forward Artem Anisimov in the second period.
Score! Shot was
and shortly after, Drake Batherson scored to bring the Senators to a 2-0 lead.
They score!
Milan Lucic struck back and scored the one and only goal for the Flames that night.
With a bit of room and a shot, Murray saved. Lucic on the rebound, scores! Played to
Batherson quickly responded and scored another goal for Ottawa, now ahead 3-1.
They score!
Flames team captain Mark Giordano says the Flames had some good energy, but they need to be more emotionally into the game.
We got to find a way to get emotionally into the games early. And, you know, maybe it means throwing ahead or chirping a little bit or whatever it may take for you individually to get into the game. You got to get into there emotionally.
Assistant captain Matthew Kachuk says the Sens outworked them.
There's a chance of a stop.
We don't really have that much second chances. Really not that many at all. And that's a hard-working team over there that does a good job sealing out, not letting you get to the net. We need to get to the net more. Their wingers and forwards are very, very committed to blocking shots.
Kachuk went on to say how they need to figure this out in a couple days before they face off again. The Flames are currently sitting in 5th place in their division with 10 wins and 11 losses. The Calgary Flames are heading home and hitting the road for a home game on Thursday at the Saddle Dome at 7:30. There they will be facing off against the Ottawa Senators and looking for some much-needed redemption. For State News File, I'm Amy Ramsey.
Pittsburgh Penguins captain Sidney Crosby has been placed on the NHL's COVID protocol list. Due to this, he will miss Tuesday's game against the Philadelphia Flyers. Players on the protocol list have not necessarily tested positive for COVID. Coach Mike Sullivan says that we can all do the right things and that kind of stuff can happen. Crosby has 7 goals and 18 points that he's earned over the course of 20 games during the season. The Penguins and Flyers are also set to go head-to-head Thursday and Saturday. There's been no indication as to whether Crosby would be ready to play at those times. The Red Deer Rebels are having a bit of a slow start to the 2020-2021 WHL season with a second consecutive loss against the Medicine Hat Tigers. The Tigers took a 4-0 lead in the first period, but the Rebels were able to cut the lead over the course of the second and third periods. The Rebels' first goal came in from Chris Douglas 18 minutes into the second period. The team's second and final goal of the game came from Chase Leslie 4 minutes into the third period. The Tigers had 6 power plays in the game and scored 1 advantaged goal, whereas the Rebels had no luck with their one and only power play. The final score was 7-2 for the Tigers. The Tigers had previously defeated the Rebels 5-4 in the first game of the season. Rebels next face the Calgary Hitmen in a 2-game series, Calgary's first of the season. The Toronto Blue Jays beat the Philadelphia Phillies 4-2 in their second spring match. This is the second win for the Jays during training and comes off the back of Monday's tie with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. hit the only homer of the game. It was a strong outing for Jays pitcher Steven Matz with 3 strikeouts and no earned runs, and only let off 1 hit. George Springer earned his first singling to the center field. The Jays will go head-to-head with the New York Yankees again Wednesday at 4:35. Tonight's game between the Toronto Raptors and the Detroit Pistons has been postponed. The game has been tentatively rescheduled for Wednesday night at 5 p.m. local time and is pending COVID-19 testing results and contact tracing within the Raptors. Last Friday, 6 members of the Raptors coaching staff, including head coach Nick Nurse and forward Pascal Siakam, entered the league's health and safety protocols and were unavailable for that game. This latest postponement is the 35th of the regular season so far, with 31 of those related to health and safety protocols. This will be Toronto's penultimate game, followed by a game on March 4th against the Boston Celtics before the All-Star break. Canadian tennis player Felix Auger-Aliassime lost out to Japan's Kei Nishikori in the first round of the ABN AMRO World Tennis Tournament in Rotterdam, Netherlands. Auger-Aliassime from Montreal, the 7th seed, participated in just 54% of his serves in. Nishikori's was 74%. This is the first time in 20-year-old Canadian since losing the 2-set in a 4th-round loss to Alison Karstev at the Australian Open. Ian St. John, famed soccer player in Liverpool, passed away at the age of 82. St. John died on Monday following a long, unspecified illness, his family said in a statement. St. John was famous for scoring the winning goal that gave the club its first FA Cup title against the Leeds and was a key player in the rebuilder under the Shankly in the 1960s. Liverpool called St. John a legend and described his FA Cup final winner against Leeds as one of the most iconic goals in Liverpool's history. That's all for sports. Now back to you, Abby.
Thanks, Ty. Let's hope the Flames play a little better on Thursday against the Senators. When we come back, we're going to take a look at a spot in Calgary that is perfect to take cute candids for your social media feed.
Tired of the same old routine at the gym? Why not jump into something new? Because fitness should always be this fun. Check out Skip Time for more information.
Come and learn the breaking world of broadcast news. Find your passion to investigate, write, shoot, edit, and deliver the stories of the day. SAIT's broadcast news program teaches you everything you need to know for a career in radio and television. Become the next great anchor, reporter, or personality using industry standard technology alongside qualified instructors with years of experience. This is Broadcast News. Come and dare to be on air.
Nestled in the community of Inglewood, Park is gaining a lot of attention. Converted from a regular parking lot, Park offers Calgarians a space to indulge in the art and technology it has to offer. Jeffrey Tobias has more.
Park is a placemaking project by the CPA in collaboration with CMLC and the Inglewood BIA. The BIA got involved because we wanted to pick a parking lot in a community that had a supportive neighborhood.
Inglewood has a very strong public space activation program, has a very strong commitment to art. Like, if you want to pilot something, just throw it at Inglewood because we'll give it a try.
Rebecca from the BIA was on the selection committee for the winning architecture firm. Public City was the winner of the design competition. Public City's giant icons and bright colors and the way they respected the neighboring buildings was what gave them the winning spot.
Park, the concept is about finding all the sort of small leftover spaces in between cars and parking lots and making them vertical. We were really interested in it because it was such a precedent-setting project. It really allowed all of the teams to think about ways that parking lots could become multi-use spaces instead of just single-use spaces.
Park, a novel, unique visual use of space that also makes a statement about how we look at and use our parking lots. For SAIT Newsfile, I'm Jeffrey Tobias.
That's so pretty. A couple from Hawaii was able to capture an incredible moment when a mother whale and her calf came to the surface.
Oh my God, that was so amazing!
so excited to that happened.
Oh my God.
Wow.
That kind of makes me want to book a trip to Hawaii once COVID's over.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, they were so close, I'd be so terrified.
Scared, but kind of fun.
But you got to get that TikTok, am I right?
Anything for the TikTok, Sarah.
Anything, especially with those park, those selfies, perfect.
It's all perfect.
It's all about the Instagram feed.
Oh, definitely. So what's our 5-day looking like?
Well, the 5-day, again, this weekend is looking super nice. Tonight we are getting down to a low of -5. Tomorrow, again, high of 8, low of -1. So you can maybe wear a nice t-shirt tomorrow. Don't gotta wear some long sleeves or anything like that. Thursday and Friday, high of 11 and high of 12. Awesome, awesome weather to get out of the house.
Well, I'm excited for that sun, Sarah. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in to SAIT Newsfile. We'll see you again on Thursday.